Carried out its last execution in 2018, and for the first time and unique to the country, it used a 4-drug cocktail to put Carrie Dean Moore to death. The electric chair had been used before that. So when Aubrey Trail recently wanted no more appeals and to be put to death, I asked the communications team whether the state was even in a position to do that. The Nebraska Department of Correctional Services is not in possession of any lethal injection chemicals. Well, the 4 drugs used are diazepam, that's a tranquilizer, fentanyl citrate, it's a synthetic opioid to limit breathing and knock you out. Cisatracurium becilate is a muscle relaxer, followed by potassium chloride, which stops the heart. These are the drugs that are not in the possession of Nebraska Corrections to carry out the death penalty. And this isn't unusual. Many drug makers, when they found out their drugs were being used to carry out a death sentence, started to push back, making it harder for states to acquire the drugs, thus making it harder to carry out capital punishment.
A number of pharmaceutical companies were surprised to learn that their drugs were being used in executions and said, absolutely not. So when that drug became unavailable, states were forced to find other sources or to compound their own drug or to use different combinations of drugs. And that unfortunately led to a lot of so-called botched executions, which was, a horror show, many of them, where prisoners were writhing in pain and calling out for more than an hour sometimes during an execution.
That has led to some states going back to older methods, such as the electric chair. Nebraska hasn't used it since 1997. At least one state has really dipped into history, started to use a firing squad. It's not clear if Nebraska lawmakers will attempt to go back since they don't have any lethal injection drugs right now. By the way, there are 11 men on death row. We're live in the newsroom. Brian Mastry, 6 News.